What if I told you there's a single behavior, often brushed off as normal, that's silently sabotaging your energy, eroding your confidence, and locking you in a life you don't want? You drag yourself out of bed each morning, feeling drained and directionless. You know you're capable of more, but something's holding you back, something you can't quite name. What if I told you the path to reclaiming your focus, strength, and purpose has been right in front of you this whole time? Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll uncover the truth about this habit, and more importantly, how to break free from its grip forever. This isn't just another self-help lecture. This is your roadmap to reclaiming your energy, confidence, and power, but only if you watch until the end. Don't let this habit control you for another day. Press play, and let's take the first step toward the life you deserve. Let's talk about something most people ignore, something that's quietly chipping away at your energy, confidence, and potential. It's not a dramatic, life-altering event. It's a habit so common, so normalized, that most people don't even realize it's holding them back. You know what I'm talking about. It's that thing you turn to when you're bored, stressed, or just looking for a quick escape. Maybe it's scrolling endlessly on your phone, binge-watching shows, overindulging in comfort food, or losing hours to something that leaves you feeling empty afterward. On the surface, it seems harmless. Everyone does it, right? But here's the truth. This habit is far from innocent. It's a silent killer of your focus, your drive, and your sense of purpose. Let's break it down. Every time you give into this habit, your brain gets a surge of dopamine, the so-called pleasure chemical. Dopamine feels good in the moment, but here's the catch. It's not real happiness. It's a cheap thrill, a temporary high that fades almost as quickly as it comes. And the more you chase that quick hit, the more your brain starts to crave it. Over time, your brain rewires itself to prioritize this easy, instant gratification over the harder, more meaningful rewards that come from real achievement. Think about it. When was the last time you felt truly proud of yourself? When was the last time you accomplished something that made you feel alive, energized, and unstoppable? If you're struggling to remember, it's because this habit is stealing those moments from you. It's training your brain to settle for less effort, less fulfillment, less growth. And the consequences go deeper than just wasted time. Every time you indulge, you're left with a lingering sense of guilt, a nagging feeling that you could have done something better with that time. You feel weak, like you've let yourself down. You start to lose confidence in your ability to control your own actions. And over time, that lack of control spills over into other areas of your life. You procrastinate more. You struggle to stay focused. You feel stuck, unmotivated, and unsure of how to break free. But it doesn't stop there. This habit doesn't just drain your mental energy. It takes a toll on your physical health too. Studies show that excessive indulgence in habits like screen time, overeating, or other forms of escapism can lead to lower energy levels, disrupted sleep, and even a decline in testosterone. Yes, you read that right. The very habits that make you feel weak and unmotivated are also sapping your physical strength and vitality. And here's the kicker. The more you indulge, the harder it becomes to stop. Your brain becomes addicted to the dopamine hits, and your willpower weakens with every repetition. It's a vicious cycle, one that leaves you feeling trapped, exhausted, and disconnected from your goals. But here's the good news. You're not alone and you're not powerless. This habit may feel like a monster, but it's one you can slay. The first step is understanding the damage it's doing. The second step is realizing that you have the power to break free. Think about it. Every time you give into this habit, you're telling yourself, I need this. But do you? Really? Or is it just a crutch, a way to avoid facing the discomfort of boredom, stress, or uncertainty? The truth is, you don't need it. What you need is clarity, focus, and the courage to take control of your life. This habit isn't just stealing your time. It's stealing your potential. It's keeping you from becoming the person you were meant to be. But the moment you decide to fight back, the moment you choose discipline over indulgence, you start to reclaim your power. So let's get real. How many hours have you lost to this habit? How many opportunities have you missed because you were too drained, too distracted, or too unmotivated to take action? How much longer are you willing to let this cycle continue? The choice is yours. You can keep letting this habit control you, or you can take the first step toward breaking free. It won't be easy, but it will be worth it. Because on the other side of the struggle is a life of energy, confidence, and purpose. A life where you're in control, where you're unstoppable, where you're finally living up to your full potential. This isn't just about quitting a bad habit. It's about reclaiming your power, your focus, and your future. It's about becoming the person you were meant to be. So, are you ready to take that first step? Let's take a step back, way back, to a time when men faced challenges far greater than endless scrolling or binge-watching. Thousands of years ago, in the bustling streets of ancient Rome and Greece, a group of philosophers known as the Stoics were grappling with questions of self-control, discipline, and the meaning of true freedom. Men like Seneca, Marcus Aurelius, and Epictetus weren't just thinkers. They were doers. They were emperors, warriors, and teachers who understood something profound about human nature, something that modern society often ignores. The Stoics knew that the path to greatness wasn't paved with comfort or indulgence. It was built on discipline, self-mastery, and the ability to resist the pull of instant gratification. As Seneca, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, famously said, "No man is free who is a slave to his body." Think about that for a moment. If you're controlled by your impulses, whether it's the urge to scroll, overeat, or seek cheap thrills, you're not truly free. You're a prisoner of your own desires. But the Stoics didn't just point out the problem. They offered a solution. They believed that true freedom comes from mastering your impulses, not being ruled by them. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor who ruled one of the most powerful empires in history, wrote extensively about this in his personal journals. He understood that even as an emperor, with unlimited wealth and power at his fingertips, the real battle was within. You have power over your mind, not outside events, he wrote. Realize this, and you will find strength. This idea, that the greatest battle is the one you fight against your own weaknesses, is as relevant today as it was 2,000 years ago. The Stoics didn't have smartphones or streaming services, but they understood the human tendency to seek pleasure and avoid discomfort. They knew that the more you give in to your desires, the weaker you become. And the weaker you become, the harder it is to achieve anything meaningful. Epictetus, a former slave who became one of the most influential Stoic teachers, put it bluntly, no man is free who is not master of himself. He believed that self-discipline wasn't just a virtue. It was a foundation of a good life. Without it, you're at the mercy of your impulses, your emotions, and the chaos of the world around you. But with it, you gain the power to shape your own destiny. So, what does this mean for you? How can the wisdom of ancient philosophers help you break free from a habit that's holding you back? The answer lies in understanding the Stoic view of desire. The Stoics didn't believe that pleasure was inherently evil, but they warned against letting it control you. They saw desire as a double-edged sword. On one hand, it's natural to want comfort, pleasure, and ease. But on the other hand, when you let those desires dictate your actions, you lose sight of what truly matters. The Stoics believed that the key to a fulfilling life wasn't in chasing pleasure, but in pursuing virtue, things like courage, wisdom, and self-control. They understood that the more you indulge in cheap thrills, the further you drift from your true potential. As Seneca wrote, "It is not the man who is too little, but the man who craves more that is poor." In other words, true wealth isn't about having everything you want. It's about wanting less and finding contentment in what you have. But here's the thing. The Stoics weren't just talking about material wealth. They were talking about emotional and spiritual wealth. They believed that the more you master your desires, the richer your life becomes. You gain clarity, focus, and a sense of purpose that no amount of indulgence can provide. Now, let's bring this back to the modern world. The challenges you face today may look different from those of a Roman emperor or a Greek philosopher, but the principles remain the same. The same forces that tempted the Stoics, laziness, distraction, the lure of instant gratification, are still at work today. The difference is that now, those forces are amplified by technology, advertising, and a culture that glorifies excess. But here's the good news. The Stoics didn't just identify the problem. They gave us a roadmap for overcoming it. They taught that self-discipline isn't about denying yourself pleasure. It's about choosing what's truly valuable over what's easy. It's about saying no to the things that weaken you so you can say yes to the things that make you stronger. So, how do you apply this wisdom to your life? Start by recognizing that every time you resist the urge to indulge, you're building mental toughness. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, you're reclaiming your power. And every time you focus on what truly matters, you're moving closer to the life you were meant to live. The Stoics didn't just talk about self-mastery, they lived it. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire while staying true to his principles. Seneca faced exile and death with unwavering courage. Epictetus, born into slavery, rose above his circumstances to become one of history's greatest teachers. These men weren't perfect, but they understood that the path to greatness begins with mastering yourself. And that's the challenge before you. Will you let your desires control you, or will you take control of them? Will you settle for a life of comfort and mediocrity, or will you strive for something greater? The choice is yours. But remember this, the same principles that guided the Stoics can guide you. The same discipline that made them great can make you great too. So what will you choose? Will you stay trapped in the cycle of indulgence, or will you rise above it? The Stoics showed us the way. The rest is up to you. This expanded section dives deeper into Stoic philosophy, connecting ancient wisdom to modern challenges. It's designed to inspire and motivate while providing actionable insights. Let me know if you'd like to refine it further. Now that we've exposed the problem and explored the timeless wisdom of the Stoics, it's time to talk about solutions. Breaking free from this habit isn't just about willpower. It's about strategy. It's about replacing weakness with strength, distraction with focus, and emptiness with purpose. Below is a clear, actionable 3-step framework to help you reclaim your energy, confidence, and power. Step 1. Self-discipline. Reclaim control over your mind. The first step to breaking free is self-discipline. This isn't about punishing yourself or living a life of deprivation. It's about taking back control of your mind and your choices. Every time you resist the urge to indulge, you're building mental toughness. Every time you say no to the easy path, you're strengthening your willpower. Start small. Identify the triggers that lead you to this habit. Is it boredom? Stress? Loneliness? Once you know what sets you off, create a plan to counteract it. For example, if you find yourself reaching for your phone out of habit, leave it in another room for an hour. If you're tempted to overindulge, pause and ask yourself, is this really what I want, or is it just a reflex? The Stoics believe that self-discipline is the foundation of freedom. As Epictetus said, no man is free who is not master of himself. When you master your impulses, you stop being a slave to your desires. You start living intentionally, making choices that align with your goals and values. Remember, self-discipline is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. And the stronger it gets, the easier it becomes to resist temptation and stay focused on what truly matters. Step 2. Find your purpose. Replace the habit with something greater. The second step is to find your purpose. One of the reasons this habit has such a strong hold on you is that it fills a void. It's an escape from boredom, stress, or the discomfort of facing your goals. But here's the truth. You don't need an escape. What you need is something meaningful to channel your energy into. Think about it. If your mind is occupied with building a business, mastering a skill, or improving your health, do you really have time for pointless indulgence? Purpose gives you direction. It gives you a reason to say no to distractions and yes to growth. Start by asking yourself, what do I want to achieve? What kind of person do I want to become? Maybe it's starting a side hustle, learning a new language, or getting in the best shape of your life. Whatever it is, make it specific, measurable, and meaningful. Then, create a plan to work toward it every day. The Stoics believe that a life without purpose is a life wasted. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, when you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. When you have a clear purpose, you wake up with intention. You see every day as an opportunity to move closer to your goals. Step 3, transmutation. Redirect your energy. The third step is transmutation. Redirecting your energy towards something productive. The Stoics and great men throughout history understood that energy is a powerful force. When it's wasted on temporary pleasures, it's lost forever. But when it's channeled into something meaningful, it becomes a source of unstoppable drive. Think of Nikola Tesla, one of the greatest inventors in history. He stayed celibate his entire life because he believed that sexual energy, when redirected, could fuel creativity and innovation. While you don't have to go to that extreme, the principle still applies. The energy you're currently wasting on this habit could be used to fuel your ambition, your creativity, and your discipline. Start by identifying where your energy is going. How much time and mental space are you dedicating to this habit? Now, imagine what you could accomplish if you redirected that energy towards something productive. Maybe it's writing a book, starting a podcast, or training for a marathon. Whatever it is, use that energy to create something meaningful. The Stoics called this the art of living. It's about turning your weaknesses into strengths, your distractions into focus, and your wasted potential into tangible results. As Seneca said, it is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult. When you redirect your energy, you stop settling for less and start striving for greatness. Putting it all together. Breaking free from this habit isn't easy, but it's worth it. It starts with self-discipline, taking control of your mind and your choices. It grows with purpose, replacing the habit with something meaningful. And it thrives with transmutation, redirecting your energy toward your goals. The Stoics showed us that true freedom comes from mastering yourself. It's not about denying pleasure. It's about choosing what's truly valuable over what's easy. It's about becoming the kind of person who doesn't need an escape because they're too busy building a life they're proud of. So what will you choose? Will you stay trapped in the cycle of indulgence, or will you rise above it? The tools are in your hands. The path is clear. All that's left is to take the first step. Your journey to self-mastery starts now. Now, imagine this. You wake up every morning feeling energized, focused, and ready to take on the day. Your mind is clear, your body is strong, and your confidence is unshakable. You no longer feel the weight of guilt or the pull of temptation. Instead, you feel a deep sense of purpose and control. This isn't just a dream. It's the reality that awaits you when you break free from this habit. Picture yourself with laser-sharp focus, tackling your goals with precision and determination. Your productivity soars because your mind isn't clouded by distractions or drained by indulgence. You're no longer chasing cheap thrills. You're pursuing meaningful achievements that leave you feeling fulfilled and proud. Physically, you feel stronger and more vibrant. Your energy levels rise, your sleep improves, and your body feels like a well-oiled machine. Studies show that breaking free from habits like overindulgence can even boost testosterone, giving you an edge in both physical and mental performance. But the transformation goes deeper than just your body and mind. You start to feel a sense of freedom you haven't experienced in years. No longer are you a slave to your impulses. No longer do you feel trapped in a cycle of weakness and regret. Instead, you feel empowered, in control, and unstoppable. Contrast this with where you are now. The guilt, the exhaustion, the nagging sense that you're not living up to your potential. The endless cycle of indulgence and regret that leaves you feeling stuck and powerless. That's not who you are. That's not who you're meant to be. The future is yours to create. It starts with a single decision: to break free, to take control, and to become the person you were meant to be. The benefits are waiting for you. All you have to do is take the first step. Here's the truth. You're standing at a crossroads. On one side is a familiar path, the one where you stay trapped in the cycle of indulgence, guilt, and wasted potential. It's comfortable, but it's a dead end. On the other side is a path of discipline, purpose, and power. It's challenging, but it leads to a life of freedom, confidence, and fulfillment. The choice is yours. Will you stay stuck, letting this habit steal your energy, your focus, and your future? Or will you rise above it, take control, and become the man you were meant to be? This isn't just about quitting a bad habit. It's about reclaiming your power. It's about proving to yourself that you're stronger than your impulses, that you're capable of more than you've been settling for. The Stoics, the warriors, the great men of history, they all faced this choice. And they chose discipline. They chose greatness. Now it's your turn. Your journey to self-mastery starts right here, right now. Not tomorrow, not next week. Today, take the first step. Resist the urge. Replace the habit with something meaningful. Redirect your energy toward your goals. And remember, you don't have to do it alone. Subscribe for more insights, tools, and strategies to help you build a life of discipline, purpose, and power. Let's do this together. Let's create a future where you're unstoppable, where you're in control, where you're living up to your full potential. The clock is ticking. The choice is yours. What will you do as you take this first step toward breaking free and reclaiming your power? Remember the words of Marcus Aurelius, one of history's greatest Stoic thinkers. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you'll find strength. This isn't just a quote. It's a reminder that true freedom comes from within. No habit, no temptation, no external force can control you unless you allow it. The power to change, to grow, and to thrive is already inside you. All you have to do is claim it. Your journey to self-mastery starts now. Let these words guide you as you take control of your mind, your choices, and your life. As you take this first step toward breaking free and reclaiming your power, remember the words of Marcus Aurelius, one of history's greatest Stoic thinkers. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you'll find strength. This isn't just a quote. It's a reminder that true freedom comes from within. No habit, no temptation, no external force can control you unless you allow it. The power to change, to grow, and to thrive is already inside you. All you have to do is claim it. Your journey to self-mastery starts now. Let these words guide you as you take control of your mind, your choices, and your life. One of the greatest inventors in history,